Hello, friends. This is Mac Payne, the founder, owner, and operator of the Vietnam Veteran News Podcast, where we bring you news about the Vietnam War and the brave veterans who served there, as told to you by yours truly, a Vietnam veteran. The primary purpose of my podcast, VietnamVeteranNews.com, is to help prove a point I often make on the podcast, and that is the Vietnam veteran generation is as great as any that ever heeded the call of duty from our country. For so long, these brave individuals were denied the recognition and gratitude they so richly deserved for serving in the military during the Vietnam War. Those Vietnam veterans did a good job over there under difficult circumstances. When they came home, the vast majority of them continued serving their country in a wide array of pursuits, and they did a good job because when we came home, we were older, wiser, stronger, and better able to deal with adversities than our non-Vietnam veteran contemporaries. Unfortunately, not enough people know about that. So my job on this earth right now, among other things, is to help spread the word about this generation. In this video, I'm coming to announce I have just published another podcast episode. That is episode 3198. We're getting on up there. I've been doing this for 12 years now, and we're almost at the 3,200 episode mark of the podcast. And I guarantee you, when you do something like that, you learn a lot about it. I spent 2 years over there in Vietnam, became fairly educated on the subject, but after producing almost 3,200 episodes about the Vietnam War, we learned a whole lot. I've got some big news coming out about something I discovered about the Vietnam War that I will be discussing shortly. Right now, I'd like to tell you a little bit about this podcast episode that just went on the air today. It has to do with a Vietnam veteran by the name of Kenneth Barber, who was a crew chief in Vietnam on UH-1s. Knowing what I know about helicopters in Vietnam, I have the highest opinion of anybody who served in Vietnam as a UH-1 crew. Those guys face some very dangerous situations. I had the opportunity to fly Cobra gunships in Vietnam with the 101st Airborne Division, and it was so funny. We would have a patch on our uniform that said we were the ARA unit, and whenever you would go around and where there were people, they would look at you and think, oh, wow, you're a Cobra pilot. Wow, that's something. And little did they know that what we did compared to what the Huey crews were doing and going through was not nearly as difficult, in my humble opinion. Kenneth Barber was on one of those crews. About 50 years ago, he did something that was rather heroic. He helped save another downed helicopter crew. Unfortunately, Kenneth got shortchanged on the medals he should have received for that event and for his other service in Vietnam. He said when he got home in 72, he got back on like February the 1st, and on February the 3rd, he was a civilian. Might not be the right month, but I'm just I'm just setting up the situation. And when he got home, they just processed him out and said, goodbye, thank you for your service. Unfortunately for Kenneth, they did not process his awards that he deserved for his service in Vietnam. So Kenneth, he didn't think anything about it at the time. He got out, went on with his life. And now, 50 years later, he's living in a retirement home in North Kingstown, Rhode Island. There's a few other Vietnam veterans there with him at that home. Every once in a while, a chaplain would come around and have a program for veterans of all wars. They would sit around and talk about war stories, as veterans generally do. At one of these events, Kenneth just talked about what he did in Vietnam, and mentioned that he never got anything for it. He didn't even get his basic, he did not even get his basic medals for going to Vietnam, like the Vietnam Service Medal or air medals or anything else. Some good citizen heard about it and decided to do something about it. They got in touch with their local representative, Representative Magaziner, and he must be a good one because he got on the case, and before you know it, he was able to get Kenneth his awards that he was due. Unfortunately, it took him 50 years to get them. But like what I always say, better late than never. At least he got them. They wrote a story about this event that appeared in the local paper, The Independent. I'm going to share that story with you so that you will know about a Vietnam veteran who finally got his awards. He only had to wait 50 years, but he got them. That's the good thing. I encourage you to go over to the podcast website, VietnamVeteranNews.com, and listen to that episode, 3198. In the show notes for that episode, you will see Kenneth at the ceremony, sitting in his wheelchair, right next to the proud Representative Magaziner who got him his awards. I think it would make you feel good to see him. I also put a picture of the retirement home where he lives. You got to admit, Kenneth did good in getting into that place. I have made it quite easy for you to go to the podcast and listen to this episode. All you've got to do is go down below this vintage Philco TV set and click on the link to the Vietnam Veteran News podcast. That'll take you straight to the episode and you can start listening immediately. But wait, there's more. I have a favor to ask. When you go down to click on the link to the podcast, right above that link will be another one that says, Buy me a coffee. That is a bald-faced request to ask for donations to the podcast. I've been paying for this podcast for 12 years, and it would be awfully nice if somebody liked what we're doing here, maybe to throw in a few dollars and help us. It's easy to do. I have priced my coffee cups at $5 each. It's not bad. All you've got to do is go to the link, buy me a coffee, click on the link for 1 cup, and you can buy me a cup. It's only $5. I priced them at $5 to make it a round figure. Don't you hate it when you go in somewhere and they'll say, that'll be $3.87. This is a flat $5. I made it easy for you to do that too. The important thing, though, is to listen to the podcast and listen to the story of Kenneth Barber, what he did for his country in Vietnam, and how he was able to finally, 50 years later, to get his awards for his service in Vietnam. Listen to that podcast episode, and I think you'll get a kick out of it. You'll also learn more about another tremendous representative from the Vietnam veteran generation, Kenneth Barber. So do that. It's easy to do. Just go down below the TV here, click on it, and listen to it. You'll be glad you did. This is Mac Payne here saying thanks for listening, and we'll be talking soon.